Hi, today we'll be going over the basics of the Wallet API. Whenever you sign up with Venly, a MATIC Testnet wallet is automatically created for you, which includes the following testnet assets: one POL token, 100 ERC20 tokens, and one NFT. So let's start by looking at how you can access these testnet assets. Before we do that, we need to find out to which user our testnet wallet is linked with. So here we're going to run our first endpoint, which is get all users. In the query parameter, we're going to pass the reference param, and its value will be initial test user. We will also pass the include signing methods Boolean param whose value will be true. What this will do is that it will return our initial test user and also return its signing method information. So let's go ahead and run this endpoint. As you can see, we've gotten a response. Under result, this is the user ID. Each user has a unique ID linked to it. We also get back a signing methods array with another ID. This is the signing method ID and it is used to authenticate transactions or sign messages with the wallets. Each user can have up to 3 signing methods, while the first signing method always has to be PIN. As you can see, this is of type PIN, and the value of the signing method for the testnet user is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and copy our user ID and move on to our next endpoint, which is get all wallets. So now we want to retrieve our testnet MATIC wallet. Here we have an endpoint which retrieves all of the wallets. In the secret type, we will pass MATIC, which is the blockchain of the wallet, and we will also pass the user ID query param, whose value will be your just recently copied user ID. So what this will do, it will return all of the wallets linked to this specific user. If you are a new user, you will only have one wallet, which will be the initial test wallet. This is the testnet MATIC wallet, which includes all of your testnet assets. If you scroll down, you can see under balance, it is indicated as 1, meaning you have one POL token available. You also get back an ID, which is the wallet ID. This is again unique for each wallet. You also get back an address, which is the publicly available wallet address. You can share this with someone if you want to receive funds. So let's quickly copy our wallet ID and move on to our next endpoint, which is get all ERC20 tokens by wallet ID. Here in the path, you need to pass the wallet ID, which you just copied. Let's go ahead and run this endpoint. As you can see, the balance is 100, indicating you have 100 ERC20 tokens in your wallet. Let's move on to our next endpoint, which is get NFTs by wallet ID. Similarly, you need to pass the wallet ID in the path, and we're going to run this endpoint. As you can see, your wallet contains one NFT. All of these testnet assets are for you to experiment and try out the wallet API. Now that we've got access to our testnet assets, we're going to start with the basics. For example, how to create a user, how to create a signing method for that user, create a wallet, and then finally execute a transaction. So the next endpoint we're going to run is create user. Here we're going to just specify the reference, which is used to identify a specific user. I'm going to specify second user. Go ahead and run this endpoint. Under result, you've gotten back your user ID. We're going to quickly copy this and move on to our next endpoint, which is create user's signing method. Remember, the first signing method for a user always has to be PIN. In the path, you need to pass the user ID for which you want to create the signing method, and in the request body, the type is PIN and the value can be anything. For simple reasons, I've set it to this. We're going to go ahead and run this endpoint, and we've gotten back another ID. Keep in mind, this is the signing method ID for this user. We're going to quickly copy this and move on to our next endpoint, which is create wallet. So creating a wallet requires you to pass a valid signing method in the header. So we're going to go in the header, and the key will be signing dash method, and its value will be your previously copied signing method ID followed by a colon and its value that we just set. We're going to go back to the body and specify the secret type, which is the blockchain on which you want to create the wallet. I'm just going to specify MATIC. The description can be anything. I'm going to specify it as second wallet, and the user ID is the ID of the user to which this wallet will be linked with. We'll go back to our create user endpoint, copy the user ID of your second user, and paste it here. I'm going to go ahead and run this endpoint. As you can see, a MATIC wallet was created for you. Similarly, this is the unique ID of this wallet, and this is the publicly available wallet address. So by now, you should have two users and two wallets. So the first user, which was automatically created for you, has a Testnet MATIC wallet, which has some Testnet assets. While the second user that you just created, it has one wallet, which is completely empty. As you can see, the balance is zero. So the next endpoint we're going to run is execute transaction, where we'll be transferring one Pol token from our testnet wallet to our empty wallet. You can transfer a half Pol token or anything you want. So similar to the create wallet endpoint, the execute transaction endpoint also requires it to pass a valid signing method in the header. You need to pass the signing method ID of the first user. So we're going to go back to our get all users endpoint, and under signing methods, we're going to quickly copy the signing method ID, and the value of the signing dash method key param is again the ID of the signing method followed by colon. And remember, the value of the signing method for the testnet wallet and testnet user is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go back to our request body. The type is transfer, indicating we'll be transferring a native token. The wallet ID is the ID of the wallet which will execute the transaction. So the wallet ID of the testnet wallet. Let's go back to our previous endpoint and quickly copy the wallet ID of the testnet wallet. Here we're quickly going to paste it, and then the 2 is the destination publicly available wallet address. So we're going to go to this endpoint where we just created a second wallet and then copy its wallet address. We're going to paste it here. The secret type is the blockchain of the transaction, which is MATIC, and the value I'm just going to specify 0.5. Let's go ahead and run this endpoint. As you can see, you've gotten back a transaction hash, which you can use in the Explorer to verify if this transaction was successful or not. Now, we're going to quickly copy our user ID of our second user and go back to get all wallets. Here, replace the user ID, and we're going to run this endpoint again. As you can see, this is our second wallet, and it includes a balance of 0.5, indicating that the transaction we just executed was successful on-chain. For additional information on how to create a user, how to create a signing method, and what they mean, you can navigate to our documentation. Under Wallet API, under Basic Guides, you can find a guide for each individual use case. We also have a section of Advanced Guides, which is for advanced users. If you want technical information of a specific endpoint, you can navigate to the API reference section and select the endpoint. You will get the complete picture, which includes all of the query parameters, path parameters, request body, and the response body as well. That's all. Thank you.